And Abraham heeded the voice of Sarai. Then Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and gave her to her husband Abraham to be his wife. After Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan. So he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress became despised in her eyes. Then Sarai said to Abraham, "My wrong be upon you. I gave my maid into your embrace, and when she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between you and me." So Abraham said to Sarai, "Indeed, your maid is in your hand. Do to her as you please." And when Sarai dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence. Now the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to shore. And he said, "Hagar, Sarai's maid, where have you come from, and where are you going?" She said, "I am fleeing from the presence of my mistress Sarai." The angel of the Lord said to her, "Return to your mistress and submit yourself under her hand." Then the angel of the Lord said to her, "I will multiply your descendants exceedingly, so that they shall not be counted for multitude." And the angel of the Lord said to her, "Behold, you are with child, and you shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard your affliction. He shall be a wild, his hand shall be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren." 13. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her EL-ROI. You are the God who sees. For she said, "Have I also here seen him who sees me?" That's where we take the topic of our message. And the topic of our message is the Hebrew word EL-ROI. Everybody say EL-ROI. EL-ROI.
Ichekisio iwo di konyen obago senemi adom. Den iwo di konyen ado EL-ROI.
The name EL-ROI comes from the Hebrew word El, God. Roy.
Same Hebrew akedo El si Roy okut.
And so from there we have the full meaning of our topic. The God who sees. And in this case, the God who sees me.
Then atodo kisio iwo di konyen akebo abasiemi okude. Then nanti kama yekusen uba homi ado abasiemi okudemi.
God is the most powerful.
Lakedo basi anyedo anyeke nyodu dokan.
He is almighty.
Anyedo nyeke kponokan.
Roy sees, watch over.
Roy ake wongoke adise awon adise mbomba
To care about.
adikpe.
So, Roy, the God who sees, is the God who watches over his people. He is the God who cares for his people.
EL-ROI abasi ami okude ado basi ake sege mpo manga ndi tomo ado basi eke kpemegi koromo.
Now, if you look at our relationship with God, you will see that God cares about every detail of our lives.
Adieke asege mkpo bang abasi ya kenyen ke basi ibwana kenyin ye basi abasi do anye ke sere mkpo bang pupuru mkpo ke bang kenyin.
And so the Bible says in Psalm 33 verse 18, behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy.
Then with some you would it'll be a do beta. We don't call my freta at a kuboro basi. I don't hear more.
So God does not sit quietly at a corner only to observe what is happening in the lives of his people. He is involved in what happens in our lives. So, at a time when some people feel they are forgotten, at a time when many people feel that nobody cares about them, the story of Haggai in Genesis chapter 16 reveals the truth about the God who cares for his own.
Kini ake song mewe kereke ke mewe frem kwa ba mimo ke fre yene ba mimo mbok aga ake sinege kenwe Genesis iwore freke anam ya idion na ante basi akere mkwa ba anyo.
Now look at the story again.
Haggai
was a slave, a maid to Sarah.
Agedo often one ano Sarah.
Sarah had no child for Abraham, and therefore on her own she decided to present her maid to
been doing this, sir.
They always stream this stuff. They always stream this stuff. Where the other one? The other one will be stuff. Now we not. Oh, this. So all this the black power too now. This like I don't see
Ina so di mfuna nsuto we mi do mi.
Sarah, who initiated the whole deal, is now uncomfortable.
Sarah ke tongo ke pupuru mpo mi. I don't hear ke niere no to me listen.
He said, I don't like Abraham. I don't like the behavior of this Hagar.
Well, Abraham, say me married who agami.
And look at the man of the house. He could not protect Hagar, who was carrying his child. He simply told the wife, Hagar is in your hand. Do whatever you like to her.
Yen say iworu fong den ikemeke di peme aga akeke kamake inemo. Yes ana yen asun ku Sarah ate nam yen te for made.
Who will find herself in the situation of Hagar?